Okay, so let's go ahead and get the license verification library so that we can use it in our protein tracker application. Now it's pretty easy to do. All we have to do is we can get it from right inside of Eclipse here. We just go to our Android SDK and AVD Manager. And you may have already even gotten this if you've just downloaded every single package that was available. But if you haven't, it'll be under third-party add-ons under the available packages, and then under Google Inc. And you can see this Google Market Licensing Package Revision 1. That's what we want here. And we'll go ahead and click Install Selected. And then we'll go ahead and accept all of these. And then it will download. And now that's complete download, we need to restart our ADB. So we'll say yes. Okay. So now we have our licensing manager downloaded. And I'll show you where this is on disk here. This will be under wherever your Android SDK Windows directory is. You should now see this Google Market Licensing. And in here there's two folders here. There's the library, which is the actual Android library. This is an Android package here. And then a sample application that uses this library. So this is pretty useful. You can go in here and you can look at some of this code if you wanted to see how a default implementation of using the license manager. I'll just open this up real quick so we can take a look. And we can see what their source code looks like for an app, a sample app they created that's actually using the license manager. And that's really good reference implementation that you can use. So then the next thing that we're going to need to do is basically we're going to need to add this license manager to our project. And there's two ways of doing this. The first way is to just copy the source right into our project. And then the second way is to create a library that we're going to reference from our project. Now, it's kind of interesting the way that we've gotten this source is we actually have the real source code and we weren't given a jar file or something like that. And the reason for that is because we might need to actually modify the license manager source. And so Google is giving us that source and then letting us do with it what we want. But if you remember, the location of this is right in our Android SDK directory. And if we take an update to the market licensing and we've modified this code, it's going to overwrite our changes. So what we need to do is copy this code out somewhere else before we create our project so that we're going to have our own copy of it. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this and I'm going to put it right into my Eclipse workspace here for the protein tracker application. Just put it right in the workspace. And then now I have this Google Market Licensing here. I've got a copy of it. So in order to create our project here, I'm just going to go to File, New, and then I'm going to select Project, and then I'm going to select Android, and then Android Project. And then instead of creating a new project, I'm going to say Create Project from Existing Source, and I'm going to browse to the location we put that, which was under our workspace, our Eclipse workspace here. So going to Workspace, and then Google Market Licensing. And it should actually detect that there's a project in there. So we'll just make sure that we're going to go to library actually. Okay, so now it's detected this project, and I'm going to call this Android LVL, just so we know exactly what it is. And it's already selected the API version. We can just basically go through these steps here. And then click Finish. And now we have this Android LVL project. And it's already made it a library project for us. So all we have to do now is take this LVL project and make sure that our protein tracker is referencing it. So the way we do that is we go into our project properties, and then under the Android tab, we can add a library, and we'll just choose this Android LVL. Click Apply. And now we're actually referencing this project in our project, and now we can actually work against that code. You can see here that it's actually referenced the source from this LVL.